what is artificial intelligence? What is AI? That seems to be the question on everyone's minds right now. We all use the expression AI, just as we all use the expression 3D printing. But few people really understand what AI means, just as few people understand what 3D printing actually entails. It's become a buzzword, but very few people begin to really understand it. But before we ask the question, what is AI, perhaps the best question to address first is, where is AI? And indeed, AI is effectively everywhere. It's very much part of our lives, even though we may not realize it. It identifies our friends on Facebook, it recognizes our images on Instagram, it feeds us news and advertisements based on our previous browsing history, it filters our email spam. It suggests how we should finish our sentences when we're using Gmail based on previous words that we've used. It translates foreign text very well. I use WeChat, and it's remarkable how well AI is able to translate Chinese into English these days. It opens our phones through facial recognition. It feeds us music on Spotify according to what it knows about our tastes, and movies on Netflix. It even introduces us to our potential partners. AI has colonized our homes in the form of Siri, Alexa, Cortana, and Google Assistant. It monitors our heating and checks the quality of our water. It controls the robots that clean our floors. It pays our bills and helps us with our taxes. It reminds us of our appointments and schedules our meetings. In some cases, it even allows us to pay for goods using facial recognition and to board our planes. It is embedded throughout the fabric of our cities, monitoring them and making them more efficient and sustainable. And when we drive, AI also warns us when we stray out of lane. It controls self-driving cars, buses and trucks. It pays our tolls with transponders and vehicle identification systems. It shows us the fastest route and tells us where to park. It is transforming how we shop, order rides, and organize our lives. And it's not just terrestrial concerns that it governs. It also looks at extraterrestrial questions. NASA lands its landers on Mars using AI. All of a sudden, AI is everywhere. And yet the irony of AI is that although it's everywhere, it is completely invisible. If you want to understand AI, don't think humanoid robots, think algorithms, think instructions, think computer code. That is what AI is. It is essentially software. It is everywhere around us, helping us with what we're doing, and yet the irony is we cannot see it. As I wrote in my book, it is as though the Earth has been invaded by an invisible, superintelligent alien species. But what is AI? What exactly is AI? Let me start perhaps with an understanding of AI that has maybe held sway up until now, a very standard interpretation of AI. And this is from the work of, of Margaret Boden in her excellent book, Introduction to AI, AI, Its Nature and Future. And Margaret Boden in this book, she states, AI seeks to make computers do the sort of things that minds can do. Is this correct? Does it still hold true? I would argue that this is now an obsolete understanding of AI for two reasons. One, AI can do some things much better than human beings already, and other things perhaps not quite so well. But the point is, it can already exceed what the human mind can do, and they're not necessarily the same thing. Human intelligence and AI maybe address different topics. Indeed, we have seen that already AI can beat us, thrash us at games of Go, to the point that it's almost pointless playing against AI in the game of Go.